Hi everyone, welcome back to the Law of Attraction Life Coaching podcast. My name is Laura. If you haven't met me already, I am a life coach, an author, and I also apparently get quoted by the news these days. If you haven't seen already, I'm going to be talking about this today, and so welcome to the channel. I'm going to help you guys to make sure that you're living your best life through self-care, through self-discovery, and a journey to self-esteem and self-love. So, if you didn't see already, guys, if you're not following me on Instagram or Facebook or anything, I'll leave some of the sort of links over there where you can have a little look at that. But if you have been following me this week, you have seen that I was quoted as an expert in Entertainment Daily a few times on a few different articles, which is quite exciting, talking about the Matt Hancock scandal. Now, I'll put some of the sort of excerpts of the article over here. Hopefully you can take a little look at that. But today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about affairs, about the perils of having an affair, and about some of the reasons why, and obviously how to kind of cope with it and move on as well. So having an affair, it's something that is very common, I would say, unfortunately. And I think that, human beings are a little bit... we are flippant sometimes, and it's a bit difficult sometimes for us to sort of stay in a monogamous relationship. Monogamy is a choice. You make the choice to pair up with somebody, hopefully off your own volition, and then you continue with them. And every day you wake up in the morning and you decide to continue with that person, and that is what monogamy is. Other people, there are other relationship structures that, possibly work, that you can have polygamous relationships or open relationships, and certain rules around those depending on your relationship, yourself, your ideas and your partner. And they can work, they can work. I've been in open relationships before in my life. It worked for me for quite a while. I'm not in an open relationship now. I'm in a monogamous relationship now, and on both of our sides, presumably. Now, monogamy can often lead us into situations that are kind of difficult to deal with. Sometimes it could be that your partner or your spouse has cheated on you. It could be that you yourself are tempted into cheating on your spouse. And I think that what's really important to recognize in these times when we are feeling those urges to maybe move away from our spouse, what is going on there and what can I do to fix it? So with the Matt Hancock affair, obviously what we've seen is that he has a wife, he has children, and actually one of his children is adopted, which I think personally kind of makes it even worse in a way. If when you can have a child under by accident, and decide to keep it. But, going through an adoption process, you're really considering that you want to have this child. Now, his wife has obviously been absolutely humiliated through this process. And I think that what's really quite devastating about it is that there will be no reparations from this incident. For one, because Matt didn't come to his wife to talk to her about it. This was something that was spurned through leaked footage. And for two, because she's been so severely humiliated, it's going to be very difficult for her to sort of keep with him, to stay with him, I would say, as there will be a significant amount of outward pressure for her to leave. And actually, if she was a friend of mine, I would have recommended for her to leave as well. I think that cheating is it's a big issue. It's a problematic issue, certainly. And I think that one of the most important things, if you are thinking about cheating on your partner, is thinking about why. What is it that the other person is giving you that your partner isn't? And I think that if you've been in a relationship for a fair amount of time, you owe your partner the honesty and the truth to be able to say to them, I'm having these feelings towards somebody else, and it is because. Now, often it could just be because that person is sexually attractive and exciting. So then that within your relationship, that's something that has perhaps gone by the wayside. Perhaps it's because you've stopped communicating with your partner, or you're not taking time for, enjoying each other in a romantic way. Often when children come into the factor, children, work, life, cleaning, business, that life can get on top of us. And we can forget that our partner was somebody that we loved instead of an opponent. Often, partners become opponents in relationships that are going sort of southward, and it's a competition. It's about who's done the most, who's better, who's done, who did the loaded the dishwasher last, all of these sorts of things. And I think what's vital is to recognize that in that moment, maybe don't talk to your spouse, if you're having feelings about wanting to cheat, but maybe thinking about why you're wanting to cheat, and then go and talk to your partner about it. If you've been through a substantial amount of time with this person, you owe it to them, and you owe it to yourself and the relationship to be honest and to have that open communication. Now, in Entertainment Daily, I was quoted to talk about, having an affair is actually a massive red flag. We've had news come in sort of yesterday, I think it was, yesterday, to say that Matt Hancock was leaving his wife Martha from a 15-year marriage, and that this is, I've been quoted as saying that it's a massive red flag, and I stick by that. I think that if you are having an affair with somebody else, for Gina and for Martha, it should be a huge red flag. I think that if you're in a situation where you are, you're leaving your partner, or maybe they're leaving their partner for you because you've been the one who's partaken in an affair with them, it's a very big red flag. Very big red flag to me. I think that you've got to question how successful your relationship can be. And Matt's moving in with Gina now. They're going to set up house and go and live together. But the fact of the matter is that Gina already knows that Matt is a liar, that he has, a nefarious nature, that is able to keep this big secret from his supposedly most trusted, confidant in his life, that he's happy to throw 15 years away and to harm his 3 children. For what is appearing to be a bit of a fling. Now, sometimes we all sort of go through this kind of grass is greener situation. And I think what's really, really important is to remember that the grass is greener where you water it. Okay, so if you spend your time and you allow energy to build with somebody else like Matt, I believe he was probably having an affair before he appointed Gina to be his aide. But either way, if you're working in close proximity, close contact with somebody, and you're allowing that energy to build, you need to question with yourself what you're doing. Because actually what you should be doing is sharing that energy, sharing that love, the flirtation, the excitement, all of those things you should be sharing with your partner. Now, if it's a case that you and your partner don't get on anymore, and you don't want to water that grass anymore, then what are you doing? Don't cheat and move on in that way. We don't use people as stepping stones through our life. If you're not happy with somebody anymore, you have the big cojones, put your big girl pants on to actually go and say to the person, I'm not happy, I'm not in love with you anymore, I want to move on. Don't step stone from person to person and think that that's an acceptable thing to do, because it isn't. And for Gina, for the other woman in this situation, I mean, gosh, your partner has been proved to be somebody who is dishonest, who you cannot trust from the very, very beginning of your relationship. And so I think from day one, it will build anxiety, mistrust, and an understanding of each other that comes from the fact that your relationship was born through dishonesty, lies, and for the harming and from the harming of other people. And I think that when you have a relationship that's born through that, that sticks, mud sticks. I think that will stick to a relationship. And in times when people are feeling insecure, when there's a level of mistrust, you will find that little voice crops up every now and again, and it says, if he cheated with you, why won't he cheat on you? And it's a very valid question. It's a very valid question. I mean, did he cheat on his wife with you because, what, you're just so beautiful and attractive, or because it was exciting, or because it was new? But then what are you going to do when maybe you're not so exciting and new, or if you don't look attractive on a day? Is that going to breed insecurity into your life and your relationship? And I would say it will do. It will do. And so if you meet somebody that you fall head over heels for, do not start a relationship with them until you have cleaned up and tied up that one that you are already in. Because what you will be doing is bringing bad energy into your new relationship. And actually, if it is a case that the relationship you're in, you thought was, ticking along, you felt a bit unhappy in it, you weren't really sure, you met somebody, you've suddenly fallen head over heels, and you've made the realization, actually, I don't want to be with my current partner anymore. If you've made that realization, and sometimes it takes somebody new to come in for you to have that sense of awareness, that's okay. You haven't hurt anybody yet. You haven't done anything yet. All of this is stuff inside your head. But at this point, when you have that recognition, I mean, you're going to be an asshole. I mean, it's laying it out very straight. You're going to be a complete and utter asshole if you don't go through the process of cutting ties and clearing up the old before you bring in the new. And if you don't clear up the old before you bring in the new, then the new is going to get tarnished as well. And frankly, on your head be it, because that's karma. It's a karmic cycle. If you bring in the new before the old goes, and they get all sort of rubbed and tarnished on each other, I mean, it's a karmic cycle of the fact that you've hurt somebody, and so you will be hurt. And it's not always that sort of clear exchange, but I think you'll find that that will be the beginning of it. So I would really recommend that if you are feeling urges to want to cheat, then speak to your partner first. If you still love your partner, and it's just something like a crush or something like that, then you can certainly decide, to work on your relationship. And I think that relationship counselling can be really helpful. I certainly think, seeing a life coach or seeing somebody together and talking about some of the issues. I'll put in a link there to my sort of longest and most pervasive relationship podcast as well. But anyway, guys, good luck. If you've got any questions, you've got any comments about Matt Hancock, or if you've had an affair, or if you've been the victim of an affair or anything like that, leave me a comment down below. Tell other people, explain to other people, this is a beautiful community that we're building. So it's, help me to help others, and you guys can help others as well through this process. So leave your comments below if you've got any advice for anybody. I'll try and put some links to the articles that I was quoted in Entertainment Daily, and I'll speak to you all soon, okay? So take care of yourselves.